Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Rule the Waves 3, a new strategy and tactical war game out by Naval Warfare Simulations and published by Matrix and Slytherin Games. In today's video, we are returning to our Let's Play series, playing as Italy, and we are almost 4 years into a war against France that has now expanded to include Austria. We've taken Tunisia and Algeria from the French. We failed in our invasion of Corsica, and now it seems like the enemy is probably about to launch a counterattack because they considerably outnumber us ever since Austria has joined the war. So it's possible we may lose the territories that we've taken from them, but we are on the verge of what might be a large battle in the Adriatic. It could turn into nothing, but if this intel here is correct, we would have up to 7 battleships. The enemy would have up to 11. We'd have up to 3 armored cruisers. The enemy would have up to 12, 5 CLs on each side, and 2 AMCs on the enemy side, possibly. It appears to be a coastal raid, I think, of the enemy, raiding me, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and jump into this thing. If we win decisively somewhere, that could dramatically change the outlook of this war. Actually, we are raiding them. Okay. Max -2. We're going to set the battle fleet to 16 knots. Let's see if we can find the enemy. We've got 3 different groups. We've got 3 armored cruisers up front, 3 light cruisers screening, and 6 battleships. We have 1 battleship in reserve back in home waters, it seems. So where is the enemy? We're not far off Zara. We're heading toward Pola. It seems like the objective is up here, this target up here, so we'll tell the fleet to move in that direction. We currently have the entire fleet in our line of sight. Our armored cruisers off the flank are screening us, and the whole formation is moving. No one is set to AI control yet, although that will change if anybody drops out of line of sight from the flag. We'll go ahead and speed things up to fast. There's got to be some enemy shipping around here somewhere, right? All right, unknown ship spotted in here. What is that? 2 ships sunk of any size. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's go ahead and send our armored cruisers off to investigate over here. I don't love the idea of going into this waterway in there. Oh, there's more enemy ships in here. All right. I guess we're going to go into the inlet here in the Dalmatian coast area. If they come in behind us, they could very quickly destroy us. Let's do line ahead. But let's see if we can get in there and sink some enemy transports. I'd take any win at this point. We don't have to like even the odds in terms of their shipping. If we can just win the battle, we'll get some nice victory points. All right, we're spotting a whole bunch of enemy ships now. Looks like 1 armored cruiser, 2 armored cruisers. Don't know why our light cruisers are sailing away. Pause. Right. Our light cruisers apparently misunderstood some sort of signal. The transport's going to get sunk. And then we've got an armored cruiser of the St. George class, which has 2 8-inch guns and 8 6s. It's not really a threat, I don't think. And then the Lisa class, 2 7. So neither of these armored cruisers are terribly good. We have learned torpedoes can change things real fast in our previous fights. How much damage? Are you damaged? No. Okay, so that lead enemy transport is sunk. Our battleships are coming in behind. I want to keep the task force somewhat together. Sure. We already picked up survivors. I don't want to like get us all too spread out if the enemy battle fleet does like sneak in behind me or something. I'm assuming the CAs are slower than me, so I'm assuming I can, or the KEs are slower. Corvettes are usually not super fast. Another enemy armored cruiser down here to the south. All right, so we're dealing with some coastal batteries. Whoa. I forgot you guys aren't set to AI. Go ahead and set to AI control. I don't want to deal with micromanaging you. So we're in a stern chase, which means we can't get all of our guns to bear. It shouldn't matter if it's just these two ships that we end up fighting. Okay. Corvettes don't carry torpedoes either. So this KE is really not much of a threat unless we ram it, in which case even its size probably will mean it's not much of a threat. All right, 2 ships are sunk. This doesn't count. We didn't... Oh, they have to be above 500 tons. Why does it say any ship? Oh, okay. I'm assuming that first merchant was over 500 tons. The KE was probably not, but if we can get this armored cruiser here, that should be well over 500 tons. There is an unidentified land feature, which I'm assuming is a battery. Also, there might be smoke down here and some unidentified ships near Zara. I know I said I wanted to keep the fleet together, but let's move these battleships down the slot, if you will. I'm hoping 2 armored cruisers versus the 1 is enough. Also, our battleships can still probably fire from over there. All right, the rest of the ships head south towards Zara. There's a small little island between the Lisa and these other armored cruisers. Might be trying to get too cute with this, but I need some wins. I need some major wins to change the course of this war. Sinking multiple enemy armored cruisers, I think, would constitute that. Of course, the George may retreat to Zara itself and pull itself out of this battle. Sure seems to be what it's trying to do. Wonder what's further south. Maybe yeah, it's turning. All right, the Lepanto and the other armored cruiser will block the one to the south from getting into Zara, while the THG class will try and prevent the George from... These are 11-inch coastal guns. Fuck. Hopefully we're far enough away that they don't really do anything. Ah. They withdrew from the action. Okay, guys, get out of there. The Lisa turned north. another unidentified enemy ship out this way? We might have more enemy armored cruisers coming up. Or a whole bunch of enemy ships, perhaps. And I'm pretty spread out. Here's the rest of the enemy fleet, I'm assuming, that we had predicted here. Let's turn back and let our other ships come up. Fuck. Well, this is exactly what I didn't really want to have happen. Although it is going to be nightfall soon, so maybe we can get out of here without too much consternation here. What do they have on their battleships here? 12-inch guns. A lot of 7s. And some 6s on that other ship. Okay. Can these guys see me? No, they can't. Okay. Doubling back with the THG class. Can we order these guys in? No, I can't. I want a flotilla attack. All right, I can't really tell what's going on at the moment. A lot of gunfire, obviously. But how bad it is, I don't really know. I'm assuming that shore battery is too far from us to do anything, especially in this dark. Okay. All right, one of our battleships is hit by a torpedo. Where? The Mercury. It's a lead ship here. We're gonna lose a battleship. I need to get out of this damn war. Can't even command all these ships because it's too dark for anyone to see anything. I need more light ships so they can actually use torpedoes. Can you detach? I don't know why I'm still pushing this fight. Hey, we had an enemy armored cruiser with a torpedo. I'm just kind of trying to run through it here. See what happens. Enemy light cruiser hit by a torpedo. She's gonna sink. I don't even know what's going on at this point. All the enemy ships seem to have, I don't know if they've fled, but we're not really fighting them anymore. We haven't gotten the indication that we won the battle yet, or that we accomplished our objective. Pretty sure we sank another enemy ship, though. There we go. Second enemy ship sank. Maybe we can close with whatever this thing is. They've got 27 armored light cruisers, so anything we can sink there would be great. We've used up quite a bit of our ammunition here. Fuck. All right, well, hit by a torpedo. Any chance we can escape? Okay, so we did not actually lose any ships sunk, according to this. 2 of our battleships were heavily damaged, both of them hit by torpedoes. We sank 2 enemy light cruisers, a corvette, and an auxiliary. So based on that, that's a convincing win. 2 light cruisers isn't going to change anything in terms of the blockade. Medium damage to one of their battleships. Still a major victory. 2,200 victory points. 600 for the enemy. Prestige. There you go. Germany honors an alliance and joins Japan in the war against France. Is that our war or is that a separate war? Because Japan is in the war on our side. I don't. Okay, so Japan is at war with both France and Austria-Hungary. Germany is at war with France. Japan is allied to both Germany and Italy. But we are not allied with Germany. Strange. You'd think that would put us all in the same conflict, but it seems like there might be 2 wars ongoing at the moment. If it pulls French ships away from the Mediterranean, though, that might be a pretty decisive result. I mean, Germany has 16 battleships, so the French are going to have to pull ships away or be blockaded, I assume. Not that, I mean, Austria-Hungary's fleets are already big enough to dominate us, but who knows? All right, we'll have an armored cruiser ready tomorrow. Convoy defense. We're still 3,000 victory points shy. All right. Bad weather means we are on top of the enemy ships before like we even spot anything. So we're going to run right past their battle line. French suffix class. I'm assuming these are both suffix classes. I don't know how badly my light cruisers were damaged in going in like that. Kushin didn't take any damage. Irina took no damage. Okay. We're claiming multiple hits on the suffix class here. 75 rounds fired already. 2 hits there with medium caliber guns. Which on the armored cruisers are 5 inches. So against a light cruiser, that'll do damage. Sea state is limiting our speed to 17 knots on some of these ships. Looks like the enemy has 2 armored cruisers out that way too. So high wind, overcast, sea state 4 or whatever. I also assume that means damage will be inflated in terms of flotation damage. If you take flotation damage. Okay, so we've got some Austro-Hungarian armored cruisers here. I believe ours are all of the Palistro class, but we're in a stern chase now, which probably means the enemy can bring more guns to bear on us than we on them. Looks like one of these suffix classes is damaged at least enough so that it's falling behind a little bit. No real tactics here, just chasing. Chasing and hoping. Trying to get my broadside into action, really. Very light damage on the armored cruisers so far. We're claiming medium damage on the suffix. Remember, we are defending our convoy, I believe. So they have to actually sink our merchant ships, I believe, to win this. Granted, I think our convoy's off to the left, so we should be buying them time. Let's get the light cruisers out of there. At least one of them out of there. You shouldn't be leading you shouldn't be in the van there. You're gonna take way too much damage. All right, how are you? Not really any damage there. Moderate damage on the lead here, the Palistro. She's the only one who's been hurt. Okay. The enemy task force seems to be splitting up a little bit. I'm going after their armored cruisers. I don't think we're going to accomplish anything, frankly, in this battle. Unless either they or we get incredibly unlucky. There's just... we don't have the weather conditions favoring us to close to point blank range, and the technology is not yet there where we can fight at long ranges very successfully. So I think we'll do some damage, but probably not sink any other ships, and as long as we don't run into a torpedo, maybe the same thing will happen, although the Palistro is pretty badly damaged and she's on fire, so maybe we should detach her. I wouldn't say too badly damaged, but we'll detach the Palistro. Hopefully she will turn back. Yeah, the AI did not. So I don't... the detach rule is supposed to cause the ship to return to harbor. At least that's what it says in the text, but it doesn't seem to want to. We're not heading toward any friendly harbor. We're heading away. At least she's not in the lead anymore, so she's not the center of the enemy attention. All right. I'm going to at least notionally send her to Sicily. We'll see if the AI... it'll probably override my orders as soon as they're out of sight and out of my orders, but... at this rate, we will run into the North African coast at some point, and we might gain an advantage at the enemy. Or we can close. The enemy's going to have to turn at some point. We're all going to be out of ammo at this rate, though. I don't know if I'm actually hitting them at all. All right, let's pause. 6% damage on the Anconia. We hit anything? 4 hits, 1 hit. No hits. Jesus. Fire whoever's in charge of your gunnery. The problem is the Anconia is like all alone down here. Crap. Rudder must have been hit there. All right, you head back to Sicily too. I mean, I'm assuming at the very least my convoy is safe. Assuming. Is the Anconia's rudder damaged too? She's going in circles. Kushin's meanwhile taking quite a bit of damage. Probably need to get out ahead of him to launch a torpedo. You're just going to eat a lot of shell fire at this rate. All right, let's see what the enemy does. All of our ships are out of line of sight on my flagship, so I think that's going to do it for the battle. There's an unidentified enemy ship up this way. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're light cruisers. Another indecisive fight. We get the victory because they didn't sink anything. We did have one armored cruiser with heavy damage. They had one with medium and light. And our convoy is safe. The blockade is causing food shortages in Italy. That's not great. Widespread protests in Italy demanding an end to hardship and war. Okay. Give him safe passage. We'll send Lenin to Austria-Hungary. Japan's giving me 270 victory points. Good job. I think France is blockaded. Yes, good job, Germany. I mean, we're not allied to Germany, but I'm assuming that's who's blockading France right now. So maybe that'll make them collapse. Our unrest level's at 7. I believe you risk revolution if you get to 10. Although it says as you approach 10, so it could be now. A fleet battle. All right, boys. Let's go. We've got to sink some of these goddamn enemy ships. All right, we've got... Let's do this. Your core. All right. Can you lead formation? All right, AI control. I do not want to command all of these individual ships, but they are all set to core. And then... the Umberto, which was our one crappy lone ship, is, I guess, the fleet flagship, maybe? Okay. I thought I ordered all those guys to be core. I don't know what, I guess we'll see. All right, here they come. My battleships, for some reason, are in the van, even though I mean, I'd ordered them to be core, but I assumed they wouldn't be stupid about it. Maybe I was wrong. Okay. I don't know where those cruisers are going. It's like they're screening the other side of my fleet. And I don't see any enemy battleships yet. A lot of armored and light cruisers. Okay. So these formations are running parallel to each other. Slowly closing. All right, guys, break the line. Squadron max speed. Cut in here. Gonna take control. We're gonna have our light cruisers cut through the enemy formations. Hopefully the AI will decide to fire a torpedo at them while they do it. Our lead armored cruiser's taken quite a pounding already. All right, well, no torpedoes went off in that shot. All right, so we collided a light cruiser with an armored cruiser, which I'm generally okay with. If I can't torpedo them, at least I can ram them. All right. Carlo, you need to head back to port. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Although 3 armored cruisers versus you is not a great look. All right, so that Kaiser class is dead in the water. I don't know if she's for sure going to sink, but the collision obviously did a number on her. There's the enemy battleships. If I can pull a Jutland and escape without engaging them and we sink 1 enemy armored cruiser, I would be okay with that result. I don't know if we have an objective here. I don't think we do. Mostly just to survive. It says medium damage, so I don't know if maybe all we did... Nope, he just sank. Never mind. All right, everybody up on the Umberto. We've got 3 enemy armored cruisers out ahead of the rest of their fleet. Try and crank it up to max speed. Maybe we can get out ahead of these enemy battleships here. They're obviously plastering this battle formation with a lot of shell fire. We're not too far off of Bari, though. Perhaps maybe we can even close in with any coastal guns that might be out that way. I'm not sure what we would have there. I don't think we have much that's heavy. There's 6-inch guns. Okay. Everybody's sailing northwest. The Albas, we might lose that light cruiser. Umberto is slowing down too. We're very close to Bari, but we're not in range yet. The enemy fleet is so much larger than mine, though. Our battleship Umberto's in rough shape. Perhaps Nightfall will save us. Or doom us. Using Nightfall to close in with these armored cruisers here, maybe do a little bit more damage. I don't know what my other ships up north here are doing. I can't command them. They're too far away. All right, I'm going to order my ships to return to port here. Everybody return to port. Okay, I don't think I have any ships left at sea. So I'm not sure what's going on now. We have some coastal stuff. Okay, in the scenario. Italian victory, so we only had medium damage on a couple of light cruisers. Our battleships must have just had engine damage because they only had light damage. Meanwhile, we did sink one enemy armored cruiser, and so that gives us a victory. The enemy didn't sink any ships of ours, so they didn't get their sink two ships. So a marginal victory. Didn't change anything, but... In a battle in northern Europe between France and Germany, the French corvette Gallia has been sunk. The Germans lost 2 light cruisers. Okay. All right. Another fleet battle, huh? In the Adriatic. I'll keep accepting these. All right, rough weather means poor visibility here. I can't command these lead cruisers who are now engaging whatever they're sighting. And those 2 ships are going to run into the whole damn enemy navy. Be great if we could isolate and destroy a few enemy ships, though. Hopefully the Anaconia doesn't do that to herself. Because I can't command him way out there. There's the enemy battle line, or at least some of it. Let's try and break their line. We're gonna Nelson them because there's so many more ships than me. Oh my god. The THG rammed an enemy battleship. Oh no. A 1-to-1 trade, battleship for battleship. The Lepanto's hit by a torpedo. Oh, this is gonna be bad. All right, Lepanto, slow down. All right, so the enemy battleship's dead in the water. The THG is probably going to sink. But not dead in the water yet. Return to Anaconia if you can get there at 4 knots. Who knows? With this poor visibility, it's possible, if unlikely, that we might escape. Okay. Slow down. I think the Sicilia is going to get the THG sunk. She keeps speeding up to try and keep up with the rest of the fleet. Lepanto's at more than 50% flotation. Yes, enter port. No, 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 no. Where are you going? Well, pause. Well, do not be stupid. Why did you turn around? If this guy sinks because those ships decided to go the other direction when I told him to go back to port. There we go. Okay. All right, so the THG rammed an enemy battleship and took heavy damage. The Lepanto took a torpedo and took medium damage, but the Nelsonian tactic of breaking the enemy line paid off. 2 enemy battleships, medium damage, 3 light, and 1 enemy battleship sunk. Hell yes. The loss of an enemy battleship is a major triumph, in my opinion. France continues to dominate the Mediterranean. There have been widespread demonstrations demanding peace and bread. How about a negotiated peace? I don't want to lose any territory, but if we can get a white peace. Well, they dominate the sea around Algeria. The French are no longer blockaded by the looks of it. We are. Almanac, what are we looking at here? 7 battleships for us. The enemy is 15 now. Because the French have completed some of the battleships they're building. So they've completed 5 of the 8 they were building when Austria joined the war. I think Austria's lost 2 battleships now. No, 1 and 3 armored cruisers. The French have lost a lot. And the Italians, we've lost a fair amount, but not like decisively bad. I just want this war to end. And not by a crushing defeat. Probably need to design some new ship classes, but... Another fleet battle? And I can't even withdraw from it. It's an unexpected battle. Ooh, some ships from Japan have joined our force. What? I don't see anything. Oh, we've got a couple of armored cruisers, maybe. That's cool. Man, it seems like the Adriatic is always bad weather. Don't really want to fight 10 enemy battleships, but let's see what happens here. Here comes the enemy fleet. Here comes the enemy fleet. We're not far off Bari again, so home court advantage in a sense. Sort of. Whole bunch of enemy CLs. See if we can isolate and destroy these lead CAs. These are French armored cruisers. The enemy battleships are back this a ways. So they've got clear scouting forces versus battle forces. Our fleet is so much smaller that we kind of we do have a little bit of that, but not much. I would love to chase your enemy armored cruisers down and sink them. I got 2 armored cruisers isolated from the rest of their fleet, but I can't damage them enough to prevent them from escaping. The Lisa's trying to close in on our task force, though. Okay, so we're kind of going parallel to the enemy now. We should use these Japanese ships more. The Marseilles are trying to get in amongst our line. Send the Japanese ships after them. All right, pause. What we're going to do here is we're going to have the force double back. All the Japanese armored cruisers still moving amongst the French fleet and trying to destroy them. Pause. All right, light cruisers, turn around and go charge into the enemy formation. Maybe we can get some torpedo hits into them. These Japanese ships have done very well for themselves. They are taking damage, but I don't know if their tech is better or what, but they sure seem to actually score hits with their guns. At least the first ship did. All right, the Japanese are out of line of sight, so I can't order them to do anything foolish anymore. Light cruisers are charging into the formation. And again, right back through that. Nice enemy battleship, a Kaiser class, hit by a torpedo. Budapest class battleship hit by a torpedo, hit by 2 torpedoes. Probably from those light cruisers, which I sent through the battle line, which are getting shot up pretty badly. The Kaiser's trying to escape. It's still under its own power. Let's send this battleship down here. Are these guys back in line of sight? These are terrible design. Those battleships look terrible. All right, another Budapest is hit by a torpedo. I don't know which one. Maybe one up here. Something just sank. Maybe their battleship broke in 2 when it was hit by a torpedo. I'm not really sure. This Budapest is dead in the water. There's a sunk ship over here. The Kaiser is limping away. This could be awesome if we can sink like 3 of their battleships. I heard a torpedo fire graphic or sound. Didn't see anything. All right, so we're losing one of our light cruisers now. We just saw it sinking. Assuming most of my light cruisers will get sunk at this rate. I'm really pursuing this battle to the to death's door here. I want to get this Kaiser. It's 1,300 hours, so by the time the rest of the enemy fleet comes up, we might be able to slip out under nightfall. I think that other battleship sank, so I think at least one battleship has been sunk. One other enemy ship has been sunk. One of our light cruisers has been sunk. Kaiser's dead in the water. All right, now everybody turn south and get out of there. I guess the Japanese ships can turn the other way. Oh, God. I do not like this situation. We snuck between their line. Are they turning back? They're at least not charging me. They are going after my light cruiser by the looks of it, which is already badly damaged. And now we're trying to get the rest of the fleet into port. I don't want to try and race through the enemy line again. Umberto's taken a lot of damage. She's slow, but she's not actually badly damaged yet. The light cruisers. All right, you are going to do a torpedo charge of these battleships. While Umberto tries to escape. And I just lost that light cruiser, for sure. She's dead in the water. She tried to charge the whole enemy fleet by itself. And she can't move. Technically hasn't sunk yet, but... Hey, we sank the armored cruiser Marseille? Sure. Maybe that was one of the ships that sank when we had that, like, hey, what sank here? All right, we're losing our second ship, the light cruiser Eurydice. Umberto's out of line of sight. All right, I'm going to turn these battleships back. Are they okay? They are. I want to get back to port, but I don't want the Umberto to just die by itself. Get into port at Bari. Looks like nightfall has caused our fleets to get out of contact with each other. And everybody's returning to port. So let's see what the actual damage was. Okay, so we lost 2 CLs sunk. The enemy lost 3 battleships sunk and 1 armored cruiser sunk. That is a hell of a victory. Doesn't quite even things up yet, but 4 heavy ships versus 2 lights. That is a considerable victory for us. That should buoy some national morale. We get an Italian major victory, 1 prestige, 2,700 victory points versus 900 for the enemy. The blockade is causing food and hardship in France. Strikes and anti-war demonstrations are rumored to be taking place in France. Revolutionary ideas from Austria-Hungary are infecting our workers and soldiers. Damn it. Maybe I shouldn't have sent Lenin out there. Marco Polo's finished her working up. Enemy fleet dominates the sea around Tunisia. They haven't actually landed troops there yet, though. And France is blockaded again. Not by us, probably by Germany. Okay. So in terms of victory points, things are pretty even. I'd accept a white piece as long as we get to keep our... I know it's not technically a white piece, but if we can keep the territories we took by landing, that would be great. Meanwhile, unrest level for us is 9. Things are getting real close to bad. Revolution could happen any day now. But with the enemy losing 3 battleships, they've gone from... Oh my God, they completed 2 more. So the French went from 0 to 7 in the span of like 6 months. So even though the Austro-Hungarians have lost 4 battleships total in the war so far, I think, the French have completed more than that. God. Anyway, so now it's 14 battleships to 7. Although I don't know if I should count the German ones or not. Like I don't know that France is deploying any battleships against Germany. So France does have 3 battleships in the northern Europe, so that's helping. But in terms of what's in the Med, why do we only have 3 battleships in the Med? Are the rest repairing? Yeah. So this claims you have 3 battleships, 4 armored cruisers. The enemy has 4 battleships. The French have 4 battleships. The Austro-Hungarians have 5. So that's 9 versus 7 when our other ones are done repairing. So, yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, guys, we've been going for almost an hour, so that's going to do it for today's episode. We will see if we can hold on. I will accept a peace after 4 years of war. If I can just get out of this damn war without my empire collapsing underneath me, I would be pretty happy that we took Algeria and Tunisia, but we'll see. That's going to do it for today, though. Thanks again for tuning in for yet another episode of Rule the Waves. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you very much for watching, and I'm out.